Hey kids, Grandpa here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the true cost of cruising. The real cost of being a sailor and cruising around the world. And you know, cruising means different things to different people. So I thought it would be important to first start out with a definition of what the cruising life or being a cruiser means to me. And that simply means living on a sailboat and traveling around the world by sailboat, taking in and seeing all the cool things that there are to see in the world. That to me is what cruising is, the basic definition of it. Now there's a lot of additives and things to that, but for me that's what cruising is. Now to some people it is a temporary thing. They're only going to do it for a little while. Some people are doing it for the rest of their lives. Some people are going to go, do a circumnavigation and then go back to ground. Some people are going to go 6 months on, 6 months off. Everyone's got a different idea as to what constitutes the cruising lifestyle. And so I just wanted to kind of give you my 2 cents worth, and then we can talk a little bit about what it means to be a cruiser and what the true cost of that is. For me, I want to buy a sailboat, sail around the world, live on that boat and travel and continue to travel, produce my channel here on YouTube for the rest of my life. That's what I would like to do. 10, 15, 20 years, whatever I got left, that's what I would like to do. So I'm looking at cruising lifestyle as a permanent, long-term decision. I don't want to put stuff in storage with the idea that I'm going to come back to it at some point. I want to free my ties, cut my ties loose for all those things that would tie me to any particular place and allow me to be sort of footloose and fancy free. But there's a toll for that. There's a cost involved for that. And something I don't think a lot of people really think about. You've got this romantic notion of sailing off into the sunset with a bikini babe on your arm and, a cold beer in your hand, and, sailing off into the sunset. And that's great. That's the dream, I guess, for some people. Not for me, but for some people. I have been a dirt dweller for the first 58 years of my life, and I'm wanting something new, something different. So anyhow, for me it's going to be a long-term permanent thing, and in that it makes a little different. So all the things that I have accumulated and inherited in my life, and it's the inherited things that are the most difficult. I guess I should preface all this by saying that today I met with an auction company that's coming to my place here in Alaska. They're going to gather up all my stuff, break it up over 2 auctions that they're having, and then sell all my stuff between this month and next month. So by the end of June, I will have 90% of my belongings sold, and I'm purging myself, cleansing myself of all these things. But some of those things are near and dear to me. Some of those things I've collected over the years. Some of those things were my father's. Some of those things were my mother's. Some of those things were my grandparents. And it's hard to think about just letting go of those things. And I had the idea that I would take some of those things to my sons in Ohio and give it to them, but their lifestyle today isn't what the lifestyle was then. They have no need for cut glass crystal wine glasses that my mother had collected. They have no need for sterling silver, knives, forks and stuff. They just don't. Their lifestyle is such that they don't need that. They don't need Hutchenreuter, fine china. It's not the way we live today. People don't live that way anymore, or at least most of us don't. Maybe the 1% does. And maybe part of my family was at one point part of that 1%, but we're not. I'm not. Never was. My sons certainly aren't, and so they don't live that lifestyle. So some of those things, some of those family heirloom items that we've had, frankly, I don't think they would necessarily appreciate it. They don't understand the history or the stories or the memories that those items triggered that makes them cherished. And so, do I labor them with the responsibility of having to maintain and house and store and transport and whatever these items? One item's like a nut and screw chest from an old hardware store. My mother bought it and refinished it and painted it and cleaned it up a little bit and antiqued it some. I remember her doing that, so I have memories of that, and my mom doing that to this piece, and so it kind of had a special place in our family because my mom did that. But my grandkids don't have that memory. They don't remember that. To them, it's just a green octagonal or sectagonal, round rotating thing with a lot of drawers. Good place to store little knick-knack kind of stuff, I guess. But it's got 72 little junk drawers in it. So, do I save that and haul that to them and have them then put it in storage and store it because they don't have room for it in their apartments? I said, no, we make a clean break. We just make a clean break. Things that were near and dear to me, there's no reason to saddle my children or my grandchildren with those. And why not sell those things, get the economic value out of them, and use that economic value to enhance the quality of my life while I'm still alive. Why not? It just seemed like it makes sense to me. Now, with that said, I have a tremendous amount of guilt to some degree as a result of that. I'm sure, my sisters or something might be upset that I might be selling, family heirloom items, but they're certainly not willing to give me the economic value of those things. And frankly, I could use the money with my plans for selling around the world. So it is what it is. I don't think any of my sisters watch my videos anyway, so I don't think I'll hear a word from them, but you never can tell. Of course, now that I've said that, of course, they'll jump on there and watch that video, right? That's just the way life is. But there's that economic cost. That's to me is the true cost of going cruising is purging all those things, cutting all those ties, getting rid of all those things that triggered memories. Digging through, I found a photograph of me as a young man with a deer on the ground that I'd killed. And I still have that shirt that I was wearing in that picture in storage. I haven't been able to fit into it in 20 years, but I still have that shirt. And that's just crazy. Why am I hauling that around for 20 years? It just makes no sense. So time for a big purge, time to get rid of all those items and accept that cost basis as part of, what it costs to go cruising, what the real cost is. The money you make, the money you spend as you're out cruising is one thing, but, that's just money, and money knows no home. To me, the real cost to me is severing those ties from those memories and those cherished possessions and making myself free of them and taking the benefit of those by converting them into cash for my use, that I can enhance my enjoyment. So I think one of the things I'm thinking about is, there's a number of things I'm going to be buying for my trip that are going to be, items that are going to enable me to create fond new memories. Cameras, scuba gear, spearfishing gear. And so I'm going to try to mentally tie one item to the next. If I sell the Hutchenreuter dishes and I use that money to buy the scuba dive compressor, well then there you go. There's that scuba dive compressor, and I will tie those memories to that item then instead. Somehow, mentally, I'll think along those lines anyway. I don't know how that'll pan out with time. It's just an idea. So when you're thinking about going cruising, you're thinking about buying a sailboat and sailing off into the sunset, think about what is some of the real cost to you to do that, and is it worth that? There's a lot of people that it's not worth it to them to do that. They wouldn't sail around the world because they don't want to cut those ties and do away with all those memories and things. I think it's going to be beneficial to me to do that. I think it'll be good for me. Ever since my divorce and my separation with my wife, I've been working on myself, and this is just a logical next step. I kind of like to get a fresh start and a clean slate and move forward, and I can't do that with all these things that keep triggering memories that are, some happy memories. Absolutely, there's some really nice happy memories, but there's also some sad memories. So be interesting to see how it all pans out. Anyhow, just wanted to touch base with you guys about the real cost of cruising. If you like this kind of thing, please do like and subscribe. Again, I'm sorry I'm not putting out a lot of material right now, a lot of content, but I am very busy with cleaning up the property and getting rid of stuff, and that's keeping me really busy, and I have to get all that done. It looks like my place is sold, as sold as it could be, waiting for the banks to do all the things that they have to do. So, it could become unsold very quickly, actually. But it looks like tentatively we've got the property sold. We've got the auction happening, getting rid of all the stuff. Wrapping up my real estate business and taking care of that. We're making a lot of good headway and good progress towards our goals, finally. Finally. So I'm hoping to be out of Alaska on the 1st of August. That's what I'm hoping for. August 1st is the day I'd like to be driving out of Alaska. But we'll see. Anyhow, please do like and subscribe. We'll have some more sailing-related content for you, cruising-related content in the near future. Thanks, guys. Bye.